Hello teachers, Michelle here once again from the Heart-Centered Classroom. Today I'd like to talk to you about cohesion in the classroom. So one of the ways that we achieve cohesion in the classroom is through what we call restorative circles or a equity circle. So we do this practice to bring a circle of trust and to bring opportunity for children to speak and be heard in the classroom. So we take this tradition from the Native American tradition. In the Native American tradition, they will pass around something called the talking stick. And the talking stick goes around the circle and it goes to the holder. The holder of the stick is the person who is allowed to speak. No one else in the circle is allowed to speak when the holder of the talking stick is speaking. And this is to create a circle of trust, an opportunity to be heard, and to be heard without judgment. So that's where the trust comes in, because nobody wants to speak from truth and speak from the heart if they're going to be judged. So we make it really clear when we're starting these circles that this is a place of acceptance, that this is a place of where you can be heard, and it's really interesting to see the results that come up. You can see back here we have the talking stick craft that we did in class, and the kids had a lot of fun making these, and they actually dedicated them to a practice of intention setting of something they wanted to work on and focus in class. So I just wanted to share that with you, that was just another fun thing that we did in class with those talking sticks. But back to the restorative circles. So the way it works is we basically come up with a focusing question. So the focusing question could be something like, name somebody who makes you laugh, or could be something it could be something fun and playful, or it could be something more serious. And so usually we do something that we're going to get more bang for the buck, because you know how time is very limited in the classroom. So it really kind of depends on what we need in that moment and what shows up. Maybe we need some lightness. Maybe we need to address an issue. So anyway, the focusing question could be something like, tell me how things are going on the playground. Or it could be, let's say something nice about a particular student in class who is struggling or having a hard time. So, and I won't use those words exactly, but I will say something like, today we're going to say something nice about Madison. And as the stick gets passed around the circle, each student will find something nice or complimentary to say about Madison. And it's really interesting to see how the students really stretch themselves and work really hard to find something really complimentary and nice to say about them. And quite honestly, sometimes it is hard with certain students for them to find nice things to say. But I am quite impressed by their ability to do so. And you could stop and say, well, maybe it's not being honest, but truly it gives that person something to aspire to, just for something to shoot for. And that's what I've seen happen from these circles, is that it really builds a student up, and they want to really start to begin to emulate the things that their classmates are saying about them. So it's really a useful practice. It does take some time out of the class, so to at least do it once a week is a good practice. If you could do it more than once a week or do it twice a week, that's even better. So, you know, we do the best we can to fit in these things that we know that are going to be beneficial for the rest of our learning. When the kids are feeling safe, they're feeling happy, and they're feeling like their friendships are going well in class, the learning is enhanced, and we're able to get so much more done when this happens. So I would like to share with you a couple of stories from some of our talking circles. And one of them is a student who at the beginning of the year was having a really challenging time in class. She was new to our school and just really struggling emotionally, coming to school, crying, kind of angry and lashing out and doing some angry things to her classmates, you know, some physical things and some just, you know, having a lot of trouble. So I was thinking, what could I do to turn the situation around with this student? You know, I was trying to reach out to her, and you know, I had many conversations with her parents. So when I thought, well, let's do a talking circle. So I told the kids we're going to say something really nice about this student. whatever comes to mind, just say it. And they each and almost everyone had something to say, because they do have the opportunity to pass. Nobody is forced to speak. And they each and everyone said something, and it was really nice things that came out of their mouths. And some of them were very honest. Even though you're, mean sometimes, I think that you could be a great friend, things like that. And this child's face just completely, the smile was from ear to ear. And from that moment on, that was really a turning point, because things started to turn around for her. And it's still a work in progress. We're still working on developing those character traits and that kind of thing. But from that moment on, I saw a big change in her, and I saw that she could trust us more, that she could trust me more, that she could trust her friends more, and that made her want to do better, to strive for more. And then another one was another new student to our school, who is actually quite exceptionally bright, just a wealth of information and knowledge, and always wanting to talk about it, so much to say. And so I told her, why don't you start writing your thoughts down, because sometimes we don't have a lot of time to talk about all the subjects she wants to talk about, and I could see that she was craving these adult conversations. So I said, write all your stuff down. So she wanted to talk about sharks. She had a special interest in sharks. So she went home and started researching sharks on her own, so she could write down all the stuff she knew about sharks. And this is just something she did on her own. And as she was researching, she started to develop a lot of compassion for these animals. And during one of our restorative circles, she felt that it was safe enough to share her feelings about sharks. And she actually became quite emotional and said, how so many sharks are killed each year, and how she thought they were very misunderstood creatures. And the tears started to flow, the emotions started to flow. And she said that she wanted to, when she grows up, she wants to be someone who goes to court that could actually be an advocate on behalf of these animals. Not her word, that was my word. But so it was really amazing to see that she felt safe enough to share that really deep part of herself in the circle. And it really had a profound effect on the rest of her classmates, and it got us all thinking. She actually did share with me too that she was so glad that she kind of got that off her chest, because she had so much to say about this subject. She was actually quite passionate about it. So I believe that these restorative circles are a great practice to have in the classroom, and that a lot of miracles can come from them. So I just wanted to share that with you. Real quick on the topic of cohesion too, something that we do at the beginning of the year besides the restorative circles is we create a chart together for our shared goals and visions for our class this year. And this is part of the cohesion piece of this program. So basically, I start the school year out with my own rules, of course, and this is for safety. So, we don't leave the room without permission. Let's be kind to each other. I have my 5 basic rules, but then the kids and I together, we make a thinking map, a circle map, where we actually brainstorm a list of our own rules together. And the rules are more like social values. So it's like, everybody helps each other. We follow the golden rule. Things that make it pleasant for us to go about our business in the classroom. And I want it to come from them. So again, it's not like me, the teacher, dictating what happens. And of course, ultimately, I am the teacher, and I'm going to, set the tone for our classroom and the expectations. But I really want it to be a place where they feel happy and comfortable and ready to learn, and that there's ownership, because unless the values become intrinsic, unless they're coming from within them, then it's just them responding to the world, and there's no real development. And so often we go through life just responding to with programmed responses. And so this creates a little bit more of an authentic reason for why we go about the things we do in the classroom, and why we should follow certain rules that are above just being what you're told to do, just above what keeps us safe, but a little bit more in alignment with the social values, the human values, and that's intrinsically coming from an authentic place. So anyway, I hope that you got something from this video. You can like and subscribe to my channel and share my videos. And I thank you for joining me today.